Hey everyone, so in today's video, this is how to change out the motor coupler in the Whirlpool, Kenmore, Maytag, Nano, Ripper direct drive washer. This one's a Whirlpool. I want to try and keep this as educational as possible while also showing other things, so I'm going to go ahead and get straight to it. You have the machine disconnected from power, the hose is removed and just away from the laundry center. You want to start off by removing these two screws with a square screwdriver. If you don't have one, this will work. One of these will work too, because I don't. With the screws out, you want to grab the control panel with both hands, slide forward and lift, and then you should be able to flip it over. But in my situation, I'm missing the clips that keep this thing in place, so I have to be very careful. On the top left hand corner of the machine, or right there, there is going to be the lid switch connector, and what you want to do is you want to grab that little clip and pull it out. And then, with a flathead screwdriver, you want to get into these golden clips here and pull until it pops out. And there's also one on that side. You need to get that too. Now that you've got everything disconnected from the cabinet, just grab the cabinet like so, and then slide it. You need to do that, otherwise you risk taking off the fill nozzle like I just did there. I did that before, and as a result it's snapped off. Alright, we're in there. Pop the nozzle back on there and flip the control panel back, and I've got the back being supported with my Ryobi table there because the clip that holds it in place is not working properly, it snapped. So next up, we need to get down to the drain pump and disconnect these two clips, like so. Or not yet, hang on a sec. Alright, now that you have the two clips disconnected, you turn them 90 degrees and pop them out. Same with the bottom one. You should just come right on out. And then once you've done that, you can also move the drain hose out of the way. So you need to disconnect the motor harness by pulling on that clip and just popping it out. And then we need to take off the capacitor's two clips there as well. And if you have the earth wire like mine does, which is connected to the capacitor, you're going to need to take the metal thing that holds the capacitor and you're going to need to take that out. So, you see we have that black clip down there, and up there, we need to take those off 1/4. So we've unscrewed the screws holding the clips in place, so now what we're going to do, I put some gloves on because when we undo these two clips, we're going to need to support the motor and slide it out of position. So we're going to start off with the bottom one, and I'm going to move the camera over here so I can do this. So the flathead screwdriver, we're going to take off the bottom one first. It's actually quite difficult. There we go. And turn that 90 degrees and pop that out too. You might need to play around with this one because it is bigger. There we go. That was actually a little more difficult than I thought. And I see this popped back. Just pop that back over there. Now, with your hand underneath the motor, we're going to pry out the top one. And we're going to leave that clip be and slide the motor out. And that is the motor coupler. So my one is not broken, but I did break it earlier. I was doing a big blanket and I broke it. I had a motor coupler on the way, but I found half of the motor coupler that was original to this washer, and because one of these was still good, so I put the original one back in here, and it ran for a bit. But now that I've got the new motor coupler here, I'm going to take both of them out and put the new ones in. But usually, if your motor coupler has gone, you'll either have, I think rarely, this will end up being stretched. This is rubber, and the holes will get big, and it'll rip. But the more common occurrence is that these prongs can end up breaking, or if you have the plastic ones, you could end up cracking it that way. Or, I think rarely, in my situation, I rounded the metal out. In fact, I think that's kind of, even this one might be rounding out too. See? I think so. If the old one hasn't come out yet, see? It's right there. If you get underneath, behind this plate, you can, with something, you'll be able to pry it out. Get in here with a flat screwdriver, get in behind there, and just pry. And you turn that, and get it from multiple angles, till it pops on out like that. There we are. So this is the motor coupler assembly. Before I show you my new motor coupler, I want to say a couple of things. I was on a budget when I bought my new motor coupler, and I blindly purchased the cheapest one there was. And actually, as it turns out, this is what it looks like. But have you noticed the difference? I'm pretty sure you noticed. These are not metal, they are plastic. But that is okay, because I'm trying to save up to fix the Maytag up there, so I bought the cheapest one there was. So, there it is, the new motor coupler assembly. So, it's time for reassembly. Reassembling, it's important to remember that all four of these black rubber things should be present on the motor. If there is one missing, it should be on the black plate there. So, in order to put it on there, you need to just put it in there. And then get something and hammer it in there, which is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do that off camera. So once you have it in there, it might come up slightly. So that is how you know that you've got this in properly. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This is what I hammered it in with. You just pop it on the shaft, put that on there, grab a hammer, and smack it until it sits flush with the shaft and such. The other one. So with the other one in there, I'm going to turn this to 6 o'clock, just like so. Pop the rubber part, the motor coupler, and then turn this one up to 12 o'clock, and we should be good to pop the motor back in. And in doing so, I want to make sure that one of these is prepared, because once I get it up there, I want to quickly pop this back up here to support the motor so I can let go of it and do the rest of my work. Ah man, that took a while. I had to actually take the clip out for a few, because every time I try to pop it in there, the motor shaft would turn and move out of alignment. But we got there eventually, so pop the bottom one in. Well, that's not good. It appears we've lost this pad. Oh well, I'm gonna leave that out for now. Maybe I'll pop it in again once this thing breaks again. So we've got both the clips in. Give it a couple of turns and make sure it's in there. Oh yeah. Make sure that, oh yeah, it's turning. Okay, so it is in. Most definitely in there. Let's get the screws for the clips back in there. Remember, 1/4 is the screw type. Pop that back over there again. Get the screw in. Doesn't go that far until it stops. Alright, what I'm gonna do now is get the capacitor hooked back up. Alright, capacitor is screwed in. What I'm going to do now is reconnect 2 wires. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter which way these go, but I stand to be corrected, so don't take my word for it. Pop the motor harness back in nice and secure. Move the pump into position, making sure that they're in alignment with each other. Grab the pump clips, place them in there, turn 90 degrees, pop that on. Do the same thing with the bottom. There we go. And that is everything at the bottom back in. So now all you have to do is put the cabinet back in, reconnect the wire harness for the lid switch, pop the control panel back in, put the 2 bolts on, you'll be done. Up here, because I have a couple of other things I need to do to this machine, I'm gonna make some repairs to the ancient water valve, because you see there, I glued it on there, but it's leaking ever so slightly again, so I'm gonna, ever so slightly, but I'm gonna fix that. And then I'm gonna see if I think I figured out how to get this thing to run with the cabinet off, so I'm gonna do that next as well. So for educational reasons, that pretty much concludes this video. So if you were looking at this video to see how to change the motor coupler, you can go ahead and stop watching. But there will be another part of this video coming up in a couple of seconds. that will show me doing something else, not motor coupler related. So, see ya. Here we are the next day, and what I did, I was mentioning that the previous owner had done the difficult work of disabling the lift switch, and so I had a stroke of genius. What I did was I just simply took it off of the cabinet, plugged it in, and now I can run it with the cabinet off. I'm going to have a look underneath here for the first time. So there's the motor. Well, actually that's the pump there. This is going the other way. This is the motor. It sounds really quiet. That's transmission, capacitor, and up there is the clutch. I wish that there was a better angle to show this from. I think this is a good angle here. So you get everything. That's the pump. You might be able to see the motor shaft. You can't see the motor coupler, but it's in between that black plate running to the transmission. You can hear the transmission gears going.